Ready? How many of you here exercise on a day-by-day basis? Most of you. How many of you have ever had exercises that just feel subpar, lackadaisical, when you're just not all there, you're just not getting the most out of your workouts? Well, today we will discuss the importance of carbohydrates and protein as it pertains to an athlete's diet. We will discuss what carbohydrates and proteins are, how they affect the body, and how much you should consume on a day-by-day basis. So first off, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are essentially nothing more than broken down sugars that your body can use for fuel. According to sportsmedicine.com, these three main sugars that the body uses to burn fuel are glucose, fructose, and galactose. These provide energy for most muscle contractions during exercise. According to the same site, these three sugars provide the first 40 to 50% of energy that your body uses in the beginning of a workout. So as you may have guessed, the more carbs in your body, the better it will perform. Now this is an breakdown of what a carbohydrate looks like. The reason that your body uses carbohydrates for fuel is because, as you can see highlighted here, it contains more parts of oxygen per hydrogen, so the body can break it down easier and get it to your muscles faster. So now that you know what carbohydrates are, what is protein? Proteins are long chains of amino acids that store glycogen in the body's muscle cells. Glycogen is a large molecule produced by the liver that is stored in muscle cells, as I stated. It is responsible for rebuilding muscle after workouts, and is responsible for muscle growth. And this is a liver right here. This is how glycogen is produced through amino acids and then distributed through muscles to the blood, to muscle cells through the blood system. There are two types of protein, essential protein and unessential protein. Essential protein is pretty much exactly just that. You must add it to your diet because your body cannot produce it on its own. These essential proteins are responsible for rebuilding muscle and helping with post-workout, your body rebuilding itself. Unessential proteins are quite the opposite. They are produced in your body and you do not need to add them into your diet. So now that you know what protein are, what are good sources of carbohydrates and protein? Healthy carbohydrates can be found in fruits, starches, whole wheats, grains, and pastas. I have a slide right here that actually compares the two. So as you can see here, pretty much everything that you want to avoid is white. Don't eat white carbs, they're bad. Whole wheat carbs are actually very good for your body. They can be distributed through the blood system very easily. Beans, fruits, sweet potatoes, bread, rice, pastas. Protein is found in most meats, nuts, and grains. As a matter of fact, for an athlete, the best source of protein is an egg. This is because the body can quickly and easily break down the nutrients. Eggs also contain all 8 essential proteins that your body needs post-workout. So how much is too much and how much is not enough? Well, carbohydrates can make or break your workout, as you may have guessed. Too many carbohydrates and you'll feel lazy, bloated, and you won't get the most out of anything. Too little, and your body resorts to other sources of fuel that are not as efficient, such as protein. And as you may have guessed, if you do use protein, if your body resorts to using protein as fuel, it will not break it down as easy because it contains more parts hydrogen than it does oxygen. Also, by using protein as fuel during exercise, it depletes the body's ability to store glycogen. Protein intake is also very important. Post-workout. A strength training athlete generally should consume 1 gram of protein for every 2 grams of body weight. This is because protein first off breaks down a lot slower than carbohydrates. In fact, your body can only break down about 30 grams per hour. So roughly, a 200-pound man would want to intake about 100 grams of protein a day over about 4 different cycles. 30 grams at each moment, one being within 20 minutes of a direct workout. So now that you know how much protein is too much, what carbohydrates are, what proteins are, and how they affect your body, you can all go have efficient workouts. And I have also, as far as protein goes, this is a chart that shows good sources of protein. As you can see here, 4 ounces of tuna contains more protein than pretty much anything else you can eat. That's why a lot of reputable sources say that tuna is one of the best things you can eat post-workout. And I also have somewhat of an exaggerated video of if you have enough protein in your body, you can be like this little kid.
Look.
This guy does not eat enough protein. He does not eat enough carbohydrates.
What is this thing? What is that? 240? 260? My brother can that. Johnny, come get some track. Bro. This? Yeah. Are you serious? I am. No way, man.
This little kid does eat his carbs and his protein. So if you all eat enough, you don't be like him one day.
What's the time? Well, double duty because you're doing the time and telling us what you thought. What'd you think?
Well, I really like the subject. It was really good because a lot of people were very relatable. I like your transition in the beginning. It was really good. Two things that I saw that you could have improved was that you read a lot from the cards, and also the light. You could have probably turned one off when you showed the last video. Visually, I thought the video was great, and the slides was really good and the way you're going, very informative. So overall, I think you did a really good job.
All right. I'm a little iffy about all the audience surveys as attention devices, and we get 2 of them in the start of your presentation. The transition to the topic was clear, and I thought you had a very good, clear goal for the speech. The preview is rushed. You were zipping through it, and that becomes a problem later on because the content, although it's organized, it's hard to follow because we didn't really get a chance to absorb what the supporting points were going to be, and your transitions often feel rushed. The first transition was fine, but after that I really felt like sometimes you were jumping into the next subject before we had really finished up the last subject. And so you want to pace it a little bit more. And that's generally a problem that you have throughout the presentation. You are going faster than you need to go. You need to pace yourself. Sometimes that's just that energy level, and your glycogen levels are probably high, and so you've got too much sugar in there, and so you just feel like you have to go. And sometimes it's anxiety. It's all you're getting up there and speaking, and it just feels like I better keep going. We're going to work on pacing a little bit more. You want to slow down though, because especially with some of the information that you're presenting in the last couple of sections of the speech, it gets problematic to keep track of what's going on. Like in the whole last section, it sounds to me like I'm getting 3 math equations that I have to keep track of, but they're coming out boom, 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 boom. If I was presenting this in class and it was a math class and I was explaining it that way, I wouldn't expect any of my students to understand what was being said. You got to give us, give us the visual, give us an example, tell us what it is you're doing, and then put those things together so that we can see that a little bit more. And I just felt like you were rushing through that, and we didn't often get the example to go along with the formula that you're giving us. And so we're missing a little bit there, and the signposts need to be clear. The visuals are okay. I didn't think that the first 2 got as explained as well as they could have. They're supposed to help us. The first one with the oxygen and the carbohydrates, that was okay. I didn't have as much problem as I had with the second one with the liver, and it just seemed like it was up there for not even 20 seconds, a very short amount of time. And here's the process that happens.